Hello all, this is Sampada Agarwal CZT again here, and today is the 13th of February. So let me go ahead and make a note of the date, today's date, and let us take some time to spend on this beautiful mindful art called Zentangle. So today, because it is so near to Valentine's Day that is celebrated on the 14th of February, I'm going to tangle something related to Valentine's Day. Okay, so let's see, what can we do today? Let us use the tangles that we have done before. So I will do FLUX. I will also do a variation of POKELEAF. It is not going to be the actual POKELEAF, but a little variation of it. And a new tangle called Zinger. Yeah, and then maybe we could also fit in another one called FESCU. All these are by Zentangle, official Zentangle tangles. So let's see. I mean, it's not very complicated. It might look like a lot. I mean, we just talked about FLUX yesterday, so we will use Rick's version this time. And as far as POKELEAF is concerned, just to remind you, POKELEAF goes like something like so, right? So instead we are going to make a slight variation to it in honor of the festival of Valentine's Day. So here I'm just going to change the sleeve into something that looks like a heart. So just a slight curve here and not putting the line there. So that's the only variation I'm going to do. And then Zinger and FESCU. So this is POKELEAF. And then as far as Zinger is concerned, Zinger is a pretty wonderful, whimsical tangle, and we will talk about that later. Okay, so begin with, we just start the Zentangle method. We take time out to be grateful for whatever it is that you're grateful for. I am definitely grateful for having this opportunity to share what little I know about Zentangle with you all, and appreciate you taking the time to see this video. So thank you for that. And now we begin with the corner dots. So that is going to be our frame in which we are going to work, and then we are going to connect them and make it into a border. This also prevents us from falling off the paper, you know, kind of if you were to tangle all the way to the edge, it would be a little difficult. So we just make a frame. Again, the frame doesn't have to be done in stone in the sense that we can deviate from it. This is just a suggested area. Okay, now string. As far as string is concerned, today I'm going to use a kitchen appliance, and you'll be surprised. What is a kitchen appliance doing with Zentangle? You'll be surprised. So here you go. I have a cookie cutter in the shape of a heart, and so this should open up a whole set of possibilities for you all. So I'm going to just use this as my string. So I'm just going to quickly go around and trace this, and there you go. That would be a very easy way to draw a heart frame. And you can always do it with your own hand without any such, you don't have to start go out there and buy one or something, but whatever you have, this is just so you can use this as a possibility. Okay, so we are going to use this as our area under which we want to work. And then I'm going to begin with flux. And the flux that I'm going to make, as you can tell, this is kind of in a heart shape, right? Again, to commemorate Valentine's Day, I'm just using something like that. And then again, I'm just going to generously use TIPPLE to fill in all these empty curvy spots so that we kind of maintain the shape of the heart. Again, I'm going to add another set of flux that kind of looks like a heart, and again generously use my TIPPLE, which are these orbs. And here again I'll add one more set of flux petals to kind of make another heart. And so you see, this is how you end up like filling these areas, and I kind of like to organically do it and not always depend on a string. So here you go. I have filled this part in. Now I'm going to fit in a few of those POKELEAF variation leaves that I spoke about. So I'm going to again kind of throw in a few of these leaves. And here again there we go, right? Okay, and so this becomes another layer of whatever you want to call it. And here I'm going to actually use a filler instead of these orbs. I'm kind of being too repetitive with the orbs, so I'm using a PN, right? So PN is a little thicker nib, so it's a 0.45. This is a 0.01, so that's 0.25. So I'm just going to use a thinner micron to just kind of fill this area in so that we have some kind of a filler which is kind of geometrical in nature, right? So I'm just going to add these. Then of course the question is how do we end it? So the only best way to end it is by adding, like closing all the gaps up. So I'm just going to add these leaves here, additional leaves here, to kind of close this area. So I can just go ahead and add these lines, and there we go. So we almost have half of the heart covered, and now I can just keep it airy and wispy, and this is where Zinger comes in. So we are going to add a set of double lines, okay? Top it with a C shape, and then loosely add a series of C's that are smaller and smaller, and this is Zinger. Isn't that cute? I just love Zinger. It just adds a little oomph to your art. And you have them all, floating around. These are quite whimsical, and I feel Dr. Seussy in nature, if there is such a word. Because I know my kids grew up reading Dr. Seuss, and the artwork in those books is just so cute. So there we go. So we are just going to add these whimsical, and you can always turn your tile or page or paper or whatever it is and add whatever you want in whichever direction. Right, so I'm just going to add one final one here. And there are so many ways you can, modify Zinger, and we will talk about it in later sessions. But yeah, and then so this is Zinger, right? So Zinger is essentially just a set of parallel lines. Top it off with the letter C, and then we have some loosely drawn C's that can change direction and ultimately end in points. And then FESCU traditionally is done as a single line, and it ends in a teardrop, like so. But because it is Valentine's Day, I'm going to add a little variation to FESCU by adding another teardrop, and that makes it into a heart. Okay, so we will just add a smattering of those in here as well, just to kind of remind ourselves about being loving and kind, and this beautiful excuse to show someone you care. So there we go. So I'm just going to add a smattering of FESCUs with a slight variation. And there we go. And I think I'm going to be done with this. I have not shaded this yet, but I always forget to initial. So I'm just going to initial it. And then I'm just going to add my graphite pencil marks here, so I can add a little dimension to the flux. And maybe we could keep these hearts really, really white and without any shade, and then just give full shading to the background. So it's up to you, however you want to do it. So we just go ahead and finish that, and maybe we can just give the zingers a little bit of shading just on the side. And that's about it. I see a little part not covered. And we could always add a little shading to the outside of these lines. See, you can always add more tangles. It's completely up to you. I'm just trying to restrict my videos to 15 minutes so that they become manageable, bite-sized viewings for people who are busy and don't have enough time, and don't want to make them too long. But feel free to kind of highlight this heart by adding something in the background, like maybe floors or something. And we have done that tangle before, right? So we can always add some geometry in the background and that works wonderfully. So I hope that you liked today's session. Again, once you shade and initial and sign, appreciate it and be kind to yourself and be kind to those around you. And I hope to see you tomorrow. And I hope you have some wonderful plans with your loved ones. And I can never leave this alone, you know. I can always see some place where I could add a little shading. So anyway, I hope that you find time to spend with your loved ones, and I will see you tomorrow. So thank you so much all. Have a great day. Namaste.